Hey, okay, so we're in Gilbert. Where in Gilbert are you? Pecos, Pecos de Vista, at the Big 13, the Big Mickey Donald's. And hey, look, there's that gym of yours. It's not mine. They're doing it backwards. Remember, they're repping that cross for money. They're repping the 3-in-1, except they're doing it backwards for money. They're repping that cross. Hey, this is Gilbert. Lots of money here. Lots of Judases here. If it wasn't for Judas and his money, Christ, well, it's God's plan anyways. But hey, that's a great way to see the cross. You see the cross. You see lots of money. That's Judas about that. So, I'm going to talk about something else real quick. Shoot. He's on a roll. He's on a roll. So, church, I used to love, I still love you, but you used to be strong about not repping that cross. You used to be strong. We rep the life of Christ. Because I'll tell you what, you get people, you rely on people who know Scripture, you rely on people who wear a cross, a fancy cross, or super cool rings, or no secret handshakes, even have tattoos of crosses on them. Now you're going to get yourself in a world of hurt. Because believe me, I've seen some beautiful crosses on people, tattooed on them, and adored on them, and jewelry that, if you only knew the things that they did and they were doing, you wouldn't rely on their scripture knowledge or their pretty crosses, even if it was scarred on their skin. You wouldn't rely on that to tell you who's who and what's what. You'd have to rely on the Spirit, regardless if they got tattoos or not. Because hey, guess what? Just because they don't have tattoos, just because they wear special underwear, just because they know secret handshakes, just because they have temple recommends, doesn't mean you can't trust them either. Jesus. Shoot. So, rely on the Spirit. So, anyways, real quick, I want to talk about that peripheral show again. There was a new peripheral, gosh darn it, and I'm actually glad because there's not I haven't seen any nudity, I don't think, and no vulgarity, whatever. You curse too. I shouldn't. I need to be better about that. It's actually a pretty good show. The peripheral episode 4 came up, and they're talking about something. In case it was confusing, probably for a lot of people. They delve in sci-fi, but actually the writers are pretty creative. I don't know if they know they're doing this or if they're so smart. They're trying to use Christian, biblical, spiritual principles to get people interested, kind of like Terminators. John Connor is a story of Jesus Christ. And heck, it's hard to get people's attention these days. Once they hear the Bible or God, they whatever. So I don't know if that's what Peripheral's doing or if they're just creating stories that they think will sell based on cool technology and matrices and multiple dimensions. But one of the things they talked about that I want to try to help some of the lay people understand is they talked about multiple universes, multiple branching points from past to future. What's happening in the show is there's a past world. Remember, Jesus Christ said, "And turn the hearts to the fathers, and the fathers to the sons, and the sons to the fathers, and the children." Da, da, da. So this is actually part of that, guys. So there's a past people who are in communication through technology with the future people, and the future people, there's some type of crisis that's happened where the future is dying off, and so what they're doing is they're communicating with the past people. And anyways, it's a communication between the past and the present, the sons and the fathers. And one of the things that's happened in this show that they've talked about is they've developed a technology where what they can do is they can send somebody out back to the past to wipe out somebody's future. So you're in the future, you're living in the present, which is their future. You can send somebody to the past through technology, and you can kill their past family. And when killing the past family, you kill all the future branches of that person. So if you don't like, say, I have a grudge with Billy, and Billy's done me dirty, and I want to teach Billy a lesson. Well, I'm going to send somebody back to the past, and I'm going to wipe out Billy. I'm going to wipe out Billy's family, and because I wipe out Billy's family in the past, there's no branches, no future multiverses branches for Billy's future. And holy smokes, this is like a full sci-fi weird thing. But guess what? This is also a very real thing that they really happens. What? It's happening now. Yes, it's happening. Where do you live in the future? We live in sci-fi. No, it's happening with what? Critical race theory. Yep, and Nazism. Yeah, remember that's Middle Eastern too. That's Aryana Vega, Aryan race. So you can wipe out a people's past by wiping out the history. In fact, that's why the Jews were so particular about preserving their records in Israel and Moses, about preserving the records and their history of the people to pass it down so the people knew who they were. In fact, the Book of Mormon talk about that too. When Nephi went back to make sure they had the records of his people, of the Israelites, of the Jewish people, to bring with them to the land that God promised them, because God knew, and it's important to know where you come from in case in future times of confusion when people are trying to wipe out your past, wipe out your genealogy, so they can rewrite it in their own image. Critical race theory, much. 9/11's a faker, much. Shoot, man. Shoot. Holocaust is fake, much. You Jews have been doing this for so long, and now they're doing it in sci-fi. So, anyways, that's what that's about, and we've seen it happen in the scriptures. We've seen it happen in real history. We've seen it happen in the Book of Mormon. We've seen the importance of keeping records and preserving our history, preserving our historical and people's history, and also preserving our religious history. And when you don't do that, and you don't pay attention to and take time to get to know your ancestors, not just religious history, not just historical history, national history, identity, but even your own personal genealogy, well, then you become a sheep and susceptible to the wolves of the world, who would rewrite your history in their image and wipe out your lineage, wipe out your genealogy, wipe out your faith, wipe out any trace that you have, so that they can exercise unrighteous dominion and control over you. And hey, welcome to critical race theory. It's not the first time this has been done. So, yeah, Book of Mormon talks about that. Bible talks about that. Look at world history. Study your actual facts and history throughout. It's not even that. You go back to. You see this happen throughout the Asian countries. You see that happen through all countries. This is what they do. Native Americans. So, okay. I think we talked enough about that. So, if you guys watch that Perfume show, and just here's the important thing: when you watch those sci-fi things, if you don't buy into the sci-fi, you have to have a foundation, a lens through which to look and understand all that through, and that's through a lens of faith, a lens through God, and Scripture and the Bible and actual world history. How do you know which history is real and which history is not? Well, you read a lot of it, and you can. Well, you also get out and you get to know people. You get to live life and experience life, work in life, and based on your true experiences in life and your reading and understanding of histories and people and religion and faith, you can come to an understanding of what's fake history made up and what's real. And and then there's the spirit, and God can help you there too. So, okay, I think we talked enough. All right, that's my video for tonight. Watch that Perfume and multi universes. And careful when they send back people nowadays to wipe out your culture, to wipe out your faith, to wipe out your ancestors, to you dumb. Some of them are getting it. Some are getting it. Okay. Should we wait till 9:13? Why should we wait till 9:13? I don't know. Because there's a 13 in it, and 9 plus 1 plus 3 equals 13. Yeah, sure. We want to wait till 9:13. Do you remember doing this to Jesus Christ? In a matter of faith. 12.